My name's Finney. For my communications speech this week, I'm going to inform people on how to do a couple basic upgrades to their computer. This is the career field that I'm going into, and these are a few common basic everything upgrades that an average user will do. So I'm going to walk you through some of the basic steps. Number one thing to know about any computer upgrade is don't work outside your boundaries. If you don't feel comfortable with something, either ask questions or let a professional do it. It's cheaper to ask a professional or let a professional do it than to replace. Two different types of hard drives. If you're going to upgrade a hard drive, you need to know which type you have. Older hard drive types for older laptops, that's what I'm working with today, are called EIDE. This is the type of back it's going to have on the back of it. There's a set of pins that let you know how to plug it into the computer. The newer versions are called SATA, S-A-T-A, capitalized, and it's basically just two paddles, set of pins. It's kind of hard to see here. A lot newer technology, a lot faster transfer speed, but you need to know which type you have before you go and buy a new hard drive. You buy the wrong one, you either have to take it back if they will allow a return, or you just wasted some money. The other thing you need to know about, so if you're going to do a memory upgrade, which is another very common upgrade that people are going to do, is what type of memory you have. This is memory for a laptop, and since I took this out of the laptop, I know that this is a 1 gig stick of DDR2 PC 2700 RAM. A lot of numbers, and you need to know everything about them. Okay, to know about the memory, I'm going to take you to a website here real quick and show you how to find out what memory you have, what memory you need to upgrade to. This website right here is called Crucial.com. Crucial is a large memory reseller. They've got a great free tool for every user on the internet. If you type in www.crucial.com, it'll pull up their website. On their website they have a Scan My System tab. I've already gone through the steps here, so I'm going to just switch to my next tab here. You go to Scan My tab, you have to agree to the terms and conditions, and then click Scan My Computer. It'll download, you have to click yes a couple times. Once you click yes, it'll come up with this screen. And what this screen is going to tell you is what type of memory you have. Is it SDRAM, is it DDR, is it DDR2, DDR3, the PC type. You need to know these numbers because if you get too good of memory, it's not going to work on an older system. If you have a newer system, you buy older memory, it may work, but it may drag down the speed of your computer, and then you're not really performing a memory upgrade. So this is all a free tool that any user can get to and find out. For instance, on this system it says that I can install up to 1.5 gigs of memory. I've got 1 gig of memory installed. It tells me about my processor and tells me a couple questions that I should look into. So that's a good website for the common user to go to. Once you have all that done, now you have to consult your computer manual. If you're afraid to do this, you need to consult your manual or let a professional do this. But look at your manual, then look at your computer. On the underside of this computer here, you can see I've got a series of different covers to take off. You have to access the memory slot cover, which is right here. You have to access the hard drive cover. Once you have accessed those, once you've found out where those are, you need to take a couple steps to make sure that you are going to do this properly. Number one is make sure that the power is off. See, I have no LED lights on, so my power's off. I'm not plugged in, so there's no chance of getting electric current through this while I'm working on it. You need to ground your body. The human body can detect charges fairly highly, meaning you have to build up quite an electronics charge in order for the human body to feel it. They can take a voltage of around 125 volts, just a small static shock, to ruin your computer equipment. So by taking this precaution, what I'm doing is I've actually got this grounded into an electrical outlet into the ground, and I've got this plugged in. So if I build up a static charge, it's going to go through my body into this metal conductor on my skin, through this cord, and into the outlet on the wall. So I am grounded. I'm not going to build up a charge and ruin and damage my computer equipment. The other thing you want to do is make sure that you've got a static-free work environment. If you've got a static-free place setting or mat to work on, you want to make sure you're wearing rubber-soled shoes working on a static-free or static-resistant build-up surface. So once you have all this, the next biggest important thing is do not use magnetized tools. These are magnetic discs. If you use magnetic tools, you're going to erase memory, and you don't want to do that. So we've got our tools laid out here. I'm grounded. I've got an anti-static work surface to work on here. I'm going to remove my covers. Now I've already taken the screws out to save a little bit of time here. So I'm going to take my memory cover off first. This is my memory cover. I just kind of pop it in underneath it here. Now I've got two little prongs here. I'm going to do the first prong, I'm going to do the second prong. Pop that out. And there we go. There's my memory stick. That's how hard it is. This is the memory stick that I originally took out. This is 1 gig. This is 2 gigs. You can see that there's more memory on this. And you see I just came ungrounded, so I'm going to reground myself real quick. Okay, I'm regrounded. I'm going to see if I can get this up here so I'm not pulling that off. Another thing is I normally would be sitting down. I wouldn't be standing up, moving my hands quite as much doing this. So, okay, so I've got my 1 gig memory stick. I've got my 2 gig memory stick. Slide this back in. There's just a little alignment slot. Make sure you have your slot aligned. Slide it in and press back, and you hear just a couple little clicks, and it's done. Put my cover back on, snap it in place, and I put the screw back in. I'll do that later to save a little bit of time here. Now if I wanted to upgrade my hard drive, again I've got 2 screws. I take those screws out, I pop my cover off, I take my cover off. Normally there's a hard drive caddy in here. You'll have to take a few more screws out. There was a screw here. This slides down, and then at that point this actually kind of pops out. I'm going to use my screwdriver here to kind of lift it up. There we go. There's a hard drive caddy around this that kind of helps secure it, hold it into the computer. I take the screws out of it, take it out. That's this hard drive. I put the new one in, replace the screws. I drop this back down in, slide it in. That's where these 2 paddles line up. You can't put it in backwards, it'll automatically line itself up. Put it in, you'd screw it back down, put your cover back on. Snap the cover back in place, you can hear it snapped. Once that's done, you're going to have to go through a couple steps. If you're adding a new hard drive, you're going to have to move your settings over from your previous hard drive. If you're adding a secondary hard drive, normally you're going to have to format the hard drive in order to let the operating system find it. You're going to basically follow the instructions from the manufacturer or from your operating system. Again, if you don't know how to do that, consult your manual or contact a professional. The help desk person will be able to help you. With these upgrades, I just migrated over. There's utilities you can download to move your information over. So I've moved everything over. I'm ready to go back on. I would then turn my computer on. If it prompted me for any questions, I'd answer those questions and I'd be ready to go. Biggest concerns that anyone has with this is, am I getting in over my head? Again, don't do anything you don't feel comfortable with. If you don't feel comfortable with it, stop, consult a professional. Make sure you buy the correct hardware. You don't want to buy the wrong information, the wrong hardware, and then be stuck with it. Make sure you take proper precautions. No magnetic screwdrivers. Make sure you're grounded, and ask questions.